Welcome to Jobbed Out, the wrestling editorial that reminds you that this is what long-term booking looks like if you're a fan of Retribution. Today, in wrestling history! September 25th, 2006, WWE presents Monday Night Raw from OKC, Oklahoma City. The biggest stories going on at the time are DX having reformed a feud with the McMahons, Booker T elevating up to the main event as a Royal, and the continuing rivalry between Edge and John Cena, who had just won the WWE title a week earlier at Unforgiven. There was a whole other thing at Unforgiven where Lita, who was the women's champion at the time, lost the title to forever frenemy Trish Stratus, who retired the next night. By doing so, the WWE announced a tournament to crown Trish's successor, which takes us to this moment. After what, in my opinion, is the best intro theme Raw ever had, sorry folks, I'm just partial to Union Underground, we get a shot of the crowd right before everything goes to black.
We're live in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma! Jim Ross, along with Jerry, the King Lawler.
But where normally this would be the beginning of an Undertaker entrance,
nope.
Tonight, it's just a good old-fashioned power out. By total fluke, WWE managed to blow a fuse right at the beginning of the show, leaving only the light jockey spotlights and the TV feed running. The fans were quite literally in the dark here with no idea what's going on, but damn it, we're live, pal, so what can you do? The only thing you can do is plow through and hope things get fixed. So Lillian Garcia gets into the ring to announce something, cause nobody can hear her, not even the people at home. Ah well, the show goes on. We're quite literally getting a dark match to start off our week. As Candice Michelle makes her way to the ring, the spotlights move up the ramp so that fans have some idea what's going on. Lillian gets on a wired mic so that she can at least broadcast to viewers at home that we're about to have our first match in the tournament to crown a new champion. The fans, though, are completely clueless because there's no way to inform them. With no music and no Titantron for cues, Michelle prepares for her opponent, the former WWE Women's Champion, Lita. Where fans normally react once they hear the beginning of a superstar's theme, this time they gotta wait until they can see and identify who's coming down that ramp. Sadly, this is a moment in WWE history where they really began focusing on the script, so Lita, knowing that the arena can't hear her, still takes the microphone to cut a promo and announce that this match has a special referee, her kayfabe and real-life lover, Edge. On a side note here, mad props to Kevin Dunn and the people in the truck as they managed to line Lita's promo up with Edge's music perfectly as to not risk her overlapping with Alter Bridge's lyrics.
And my boyfriend, Edge.
Wait a minute, how fair is that?
In radio, that's called hitting the post, and normally, it's on the person speaking to know when to stop. Obviously, she can't do that though with the power out. So the rated R superstar makes his way out in a referee shirt and pretends to take his new role seriously, diligently checking Candice Michelle for foreign objects before, let's just say losing focus. So the bell rings and the referee spears Candice Michelle so hard that the power boots back up, making the whole situation awkward as hell because half the arena is booing the brazen attack and the other half is cheering the lights coming on. As Edge counts the 3, John Cena runs out to try and get some retribution on Edge. Too little, too late.
Some lights and some integrity were restored here somewhat.
So WWE still needs some time for all the systems to reboot and to get their checks in place. Kinda cool seeing the boot screen on the Tron though, I'm not gonna lie. Originally the format here was supposed to be have a match, cut a promo, set up the main event, commercial, then come back for a match. But knowing how close WWE was to getting everything back online, they just jumbled it a bit for convenience. So they come back from commercial with John Cena still in the ring and, props for thinking on his feet, John Cena gives us WWE's only official explanation for this power out.
Last week, he ducks me. He doesn't want a rematch. Said, I don't feel so good. So he tried to knock out the power in the building to get all you to leave because he doesn't want a piece of John Cena.
After this, at least on the technical side, it's all smooth sailing. Not that it pertains to this, but for the sake of being a completionist, Edge comes back out, the two argue back and forth, Cena literally gets roped into a match with Lita instead of Edge, with one arm tied behind his back, which goes about as well as you'd expect it to. And if you think Lita had an easy workload tonight, you should see Booker T putting in an effort that would make the creepers from the Dark Order blush. The show wraps with some SmackDown superstars running in to beat down Cena in order to set up a match at Cyber Sunday that would also include ECW champion Big Show, who was heel that week. There you have it. That is the story around the Great Raw Power Out live in 2006. It's weird to me that this moment isn't brought up more often. Yeah, the consequences weren't huge, but this was a unique situation that the WWE had to try to overcome. It's not like they could just end the show with an hour 55 left in their time slot. Imagine if they couldn't get the power back up. I've said it a couple times, but this was live. They could not do what they did during In Your House Beware of Dog, where a thunder and hailstorm took out the pay-per-view feed, essentially turning their entire event into a house show, and forcing them to redo the whole thing on TV a couple days later. The only other times that come to mind where WWE effectively had to cancel a live Raw were a snowstorm in 2015 that led to an all-studio produced episode, and of course, the Chris Benoit tribute show in 2007, before everybody found out what really led to the deaths of the Benoit family. Ah boy. Well, on that cheery note, I want to ask you, what do you think of this little tidbit in WWE history? The night the lights went out on Monday Night Raw. Knowing that this literally happened as performers were in Gorilla and they couldn't even swap the first segment for a filler match, do you think they handled things as best they could? Or would you have changed things up and done the planned segment later when all the power's back up? Let me know in the comments and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more, because I want you to be a part of this conversation too. For now though, I better get my shoulders off the mat, so thank you for tuning in to Jobbed Out. I'll catch you next time.